Okay, so I think we're good. So, hello YouTube. This is a quick video on watch repair, and specifically the Seiko G757 4010, which is the watch that I've got in front of me here, and just wanted to quickly talk about a couple of the issues that you tend to see. Well, the issue that I've got with this watch at the moment is really to do with this. So I'm going to hold up the module to the camera, and you'll notice that I can just grab hold of that. You'll notice that we've got this missing segment problem. Okay. Now, this particular module, so I'm going to show you on the back what that looks like. Okay. So this particular module has already had an LCD swap from a donor watch, and we've still got this issue of missing segments. Now, the donor watch, if I grab hold of the PCB, so this is the PCB, zoom in a little bit, there we go, is in very good condition. So this PCB has no real corrosion anywhere. It is in good condition physically. Oftentimes with these watches, the problem is corrosion caused by leaking batteries, and that's not the case here. But the issue with fading, missing segments is, well, opinion varies on what causes it. One of the things that is mentioned is, if you look down there at the bottom, we've got 4 ceramic surface mount capacitors, and in the service guide it talks about up converters. So these are basically voltage boosters to drive the LCD. Now those capacitors are known over time to lose their capacitance, and this can result in fading display and then missing digits and so on. The remedy is to replace them with some new capacitors, and I just happen to have, from a previous job, a bunch of focus. Well, anyway, we've got 4 SMD capacitors here. These are 180 nanofarad, 25 volt SMD capacitors. I think they're 2012 in terms of the measurement, so they're a tiny bit smaller than the ones on here. But what we're going to do is we're going to replace these and see if we can restore life to the module. Now I have to admit that previously on the module, there are 2 watches here, and the module that has the LCD, the donor LCD, it already has had its up converters replaced, and you can see that it's made no real difference. There is, however, another capacitor up there in the top corner of the PCB. Okay, just need to check what that's about. It isn't an up converter, but it might need replacing as well, so I don't know. Working on these watches is a very slow burn process. It could take many years without spending a fortune to get a working unit. Other things that people talk about with the failure, apart from the module, is corrosion. So if we look at the back of the case, again, this one's in good condition, but obviously we're going to want to have good electrical contacts on the battery terminals. We're going to want good electrical contacts on the PCB. So we can see here, oops, I can just get to focus again. There we go. We're going to want to have good electrical contacts on the PCB, and also where the metal cover, the metal battery cover, fits onto the movement. You can see there's a couple of metallic fingers. One of them contacts the case, and the other one basically contacts the PCB. There's a little metal leg. So we want to make sure that they're good and clean. There's no resistance, no corrosion, but this is in good condition. The other thing that's noted as being a bit of a culprit, and caveat, I shouldn't be handling these like this, but never mind. This is a zebra strip, okay? And there are two of these that relate to the crystal, okay? And I'm not going to be able to show this, okay, easily. This is the LCD without the backing. I can get hold of this. There we go. Again, it's a donor piece. So you'll notice that there are two lengths there, with our metallized contacts. Very difficult to see with the naked eye. Those zebra strips sit on those grooves, and those grooves have a plastic guide, and that plastic guide allows them to fit flush with the very edges of the contacts on the PCB. So one thing to make sure of is that these contacts are clean, that the zebra strips are clean, that they're making good contact. So people have talked about having a little bit of a cardboard shim. Some people have mentioned that. Some people have mentioned just making sure that they have good conductivity, i.e. keeping them clean. You can clean them in isopropyl alcohol. I've already been through all this rigmarole. I've cleaned them, I've reattached them, hasn't made any difference. I have a suspicion that because this is a rubberized material, so zebra strips are basically layers of conductive foam and layers of insulating foam over time, like all materials from the era that involve foam or rubber, that they deteriorate, and I think this might be the issue that we're seeing here. So I'll basically replace these up converters. We'll see if this does anything to improve the LCD on this other module. If we get anything restored, of course it's entirely possible there could be two faulty modules or two faulty LCDs. These are very unreliable movements over time, so there are a lot of people out there talking about how these things are very flaky with exactly this type of symptoms. So we'll see how we go. I've also read a couple of things about people sticking them in the oven, just the module at 135 degrees for an hour. Not convinced on that, but I suppose at the end of the day, if you've got a number of scrap ones, then why not give it a try? So watch out for updates. If you've got one of these to repair, then I'm going to replace the up converters. We're going to put the LCD back on the original watch, see if that's made any difference, and if it hasn't, then I think we might be in the business of looking at the other capacitor, seeing what that's about, and ultimately it'll be look for another watch again. So stay tuned. Hope it was useful.